What's happening, party people? Welcome to this weekend review. Man, I don't even know what's on this video. I just did the edits and here it is. I know I got started restoring a wagon that I've had sitting out here forever at Goon, and man, it was a mess. Started on that, went visit James, checked out his car. A couple things. One, about a month ago, maybe a little longer, something happened between my website and PayPal. I don't know, it was some kind of update they did on the Shopify servers or something, but it disconnected my PayPal from my website. It would still let people try to make a payment via PayPal, but the payments weren't going through. And the website was warning me that the payments wasn't going through. So there was some kind of disconnect there. I thought they were trying to force me into getting a business account because I read some stuff on the website that said you need to have a business account for your PayPal. So I went to PayPal, set up a business account. I haven't set up a PayPal account in probably 12, 15 years, if not longer. I didn't do a couple things just right, couple verifications they needed. So as people was continuing to try to purchase things via PayPal, and it's only seemed like it was payments from overseas, payments weren't going through. I don't know of any that were inside the USA, but definitely ones from overseas. And I just wasn't getting the money. I couldn't ship the products, blah, blah, blah. So a couple days ago, somebody ordered a few of the sunroof trim. I have some 960 sunroof trim that works very well in the P80 cars. Somebody in Japan. They tried to make the purchase, didn't show up on the website. When it did show up on the website, it said that the payment wasn't processed yet. It was in some kind of hole. Well, I went back and forth with that person. They were kind enough and patient enough to help me get through that, and I finally figured out that I was missing a couple verifications. I did that this morning, and his payment showed up almost immediately. So I got that sorted out on the website. Most of you probably don't know, but a few of you that are overseas tried to order things, did get that taken care of. Another thing, we're going through a lot of organizing some of the parts and my storage, mainly the garage downstairs, and we found a bunch of stuff. Mass airflow sensors that have been tested. We got some cargo mats for sedan 850s and V70 and 850 cargo mats. I found a set of jewels, just several things I've been putting on the website. I found a bunch of those corner lights that people in Europe like. You use the dual element bulb instead of the two separate bulbs. Also, I found two sets of those for the 92, 93 850s. You know, the ones with the funny, longer corner lights. So I have four of those. I need to put those on the website. I'm going to put these little bearings up here. You know, some of this stuff, it just saves you time getting it from me or my website, because other than that, you got to do guesswork trying to figure out if you're ordering the right thing. If I got it, I put on my website. These are the bearings that we put in the shifter bushings when we do manual swaps. And if you need a set of those because your shifter bushings are destroyed because they're 30 years old or whatever, you go to my website, order a couple. It takes time to fulfill orders, but I'm okay with that. So, you know, stuff there is not free. It helps absorb the prices of the stuff like this, helps cover a little bit of the time that I spend shipping stuff out. I don't have really nobody shipping all this stuff out. So a lot of people ask me to get things from the junkyard. I don't have a problem with doing that. I do have a problem with knowing who asked for what. So I usually ask people, hey, remind me in a couple days, at least once a week. When I find it, I'll send you a message. We'll arrange payment. I'll get it, ship it to you. some people don't want to remind me. So I can't help you. And if you find it somewhere else, found somebody else to help you out with it, that's fine. But sometimes I see it. I remember somebody asked for it. It takes me a long time to find that person. Like somebody asked me for the corner lights sockets for the 93, 92 850s. I found the sockets. Now I can't find who asked for them. So if you're that person, hit me up. I do have quite a few of the corner sockets left. Rear wing brackets. I got several rear wings for 850 sedans, S70 sedans, and 850 V70 wagons. So if you want one of those or need one of those, let me know. I'll get it out. I might even have the color you're looking for. So anyway, got a hang up with getting this wagon started. I'm about to put it on the back burner and finish this yellow sedan since I have most of the parts, maybe all the parts now to complete it. I got the last part or two or 3 days ago. So between messing with this wagon and rearranging stuff in my parts locator system, I just hadn't had time to really finish up that yellow car. And I need to get a piece painted on that, and they're telling me it's going to be like July 10th before that part is painted. So I'm kind of struggling with my schedule. I'm supposed to go on vacation August 2nd. That's my fishing trip, annual fishing trip. I'm not missing that this year. I forewent it last year for personal reasons. I'm going to make it this year. So by the time I get this yellow car out here, that'll be 2.5 weeks before I go on my fishing trip, 3 at the longest. I don't know if I'm going to make it out west. If not, I'm going to go straight out west right after I get done with the fishing trip. So that's where I'm at. If you got any questions, leave them below. I appreciate you all support. Thanks for everybody that's buying merch and sending donations through PayPal, stuff like that. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the Tinker Day. We're going to test this battery here. We're going to test this battery here. See if it's ready to go in the S60. Pretty sure I tested this yesterday. It was good. 76 health. 100% charged. Let's go put it in. After charging for, 2 hours, I'm up to 61 and 100. And it was sitting on green. So I assume it felt like it was done. I put it on 700 cold cranking amps. It's at 545 cold cranking amps. So this battery is on the downside of good. She may have an alternator problem. So I'm going to tell her to stop sitting in that car with it on. And if this battery that's in there now goes weak in a couple weeks, we may need to look at replacing the alternator in that thing, which is a job and a half. So let's see how this goes. So the S60 went off to its proper place. I got this truck here from Ando. They call them trucks. Little rolling dollar thing. I'm going to put a battery on here and take this thing down to Panther to put a battery in Panther. But man, this thing is really slippery. I need to put some grit on here or something to stop this thing from being so slippery. Maybe some 40 grit sandpaper or something cushiony. Get that battery down there. I tested the battery. It came back 98, 96. So it's a good battery, but I'm not going to hook this one up. I've been hooking them up and letting them drain the battery. I'm thinking about taking Panther to a car show this weekend, but we'll see how that goes. And here's Panther sitting here collecting sun. Need to clean this thing up real nice. I'm thinking about taking it to Gilmore. Mita said if I took it to Gilmore, she has two conditions. One, make all those rear panels match. A couple of them are mismatching because of whatever. Number two, I forget what she told me to do secondly, but she definitely wanted me to do that. Oh, shine up, put some good looking wheels on Panther, and put these new center caps in it that she got. I think they're Platinum Edition 60 series from like 2012. So anyway, let me get this battery in here, get down here, air these tires back up, and then move on to my next task at hand. Man, why is this off? I don't remember taking that screw out of that. Anyway, I need to put that back on properly. And I don't know why so many people lose this battery clip, man. Those things are so easy to take off and on. I got a video about that. They just lose them. So she told me to clean this engine bay too. Put the cover back on it. It's a little low in coolant. Don't know why that is, but maybe it's just been a little low. I've been driving it like that. It's at the minimum mark, I'd say. Anyway, let me get this battery replaced. One of the things I collect as I go to Salvage yard is these little battery post thingy mabobs, whatever they're called. So if you need one, I probably got one. Contact me. We'll arrange some kind of cover the cost payment method and you can have one. But I'm gonna go put this battery back on the charger. Hopefully it's not dead. It was a good strong battery. This one was actually dead at one time. I was told it needed to be replaced. Of course, I took it, put it on my Noco charger, man, and it brought it back to life. So this thing is good. I'm gonna hook this back up kind of soon, but I'm gonna put the charger on that one. It's too dead to test. Come back 4 hours, see where it's at. And then I'll probably put it back on that one, let that one run for a few days in the repair. See that light is pulsating. That's kind of like a repair mode. You have a couple philosophy with parked car. Of course, Panther is parked because I let somebody test drive it. They destroyed the transmission. Essentially, don't have any first or third gears. Real hard to get it in first. It grinds a lot going into third. So it's sitting till I find my traction concept unit and put an LSD in it. So my philosophy is don't start the car. Just let it sit till you're going to drive it. Because the biggest wear and tear you get on cars is starting them, shutting them off, especially if they don't get totally warmed up. So if you're not going to drive it to warm it up properly, leave it sit. Condensation and getting rich running fuel in your oil, stuff like that, does more damage than just letting them sit and sit and sit. So it sits. But you got to come check your tires, maybe move it a few inches here and there. So here I am, 13 PSI on this one, going up to 35. Crap, I came over here, forgot to set my target PSI, and I'm at 64. I'm glad I came to check on this thing. Cleaning out these drains, make sure you get the one down there on the front side of this fuse panel. If that one gets clogged, water goes inside your fuse panel. So make sure you don't miss that one. I ran water down there, they're clear. Let me finish this tire inflation situation. Next thing, get this car running here. So I'm gonna back it up about 4 or 5 feet so I can get under it, pull that wheel and do a timing belt job and put all the turbo piping back on it and anything else that I've borrowed from this poor car. Then I'm gonna finish cleaning it out. Now Mita cleaned it out a lot, but I'm gonna finish cleaning it out, set it back up, and probably put this thing on the road soon. Oh, one of my neighbors threw something and broke out this tail light. Almost busted this back glass. He'd have been in a world of trouble if he'd have done that, because that glass is expensive. Anyway, let me get with it. Replace these two pull this car back about 5 feet and get this timing belt done. Decided to clean out Lagoon before I sat down to replace these bulbs because I didn't want spiders all over me, and there was a lot of spider webs back here. And to my surprise, there is a Volvo first aid kit here. Man, let's see what's in it. Let's see what's in it to win it. It kind of feels like a pillow too. Somebody got bumped in the head. They needed to lay their head on something soft. Look at it. All kind of stuff in here. Tourniquets, ice packs. Wow. Blanket. Man, it's almost like an ambulance here. Stuff in here. Latex gloves. Don't know if they're still good, but man, there's a lot of stuff in here, folks. Woo-wee! Scissors and tweezers, really? Yep. This stuff is still in here, too. Tweezers and scissors. And we have here, folks, one Volvo first aid kit, official, intact. We're going to clean that up, and we're going to go. We got to start about $50. Anybody got $50? Yo, co. We got $50. We need 60 over here. We got 60 over here. Whoa, 100. Bitty bitty body, bitty body, bitty body, bitty. 135. Bitty 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 body, bitty body. 150. Bitty 200. Going once, going twice. Let me put this stuff away before I lose something. Uh-oh. The popo just rolled up here and stopped. What's going on now? There was some kids smoking weed over there yesterday. The youngest one was 10 years old. I don't know what's going on with these folks' kids, but let's see what the popo does. Although this light looked okay, other than, of course, the deterioration from UV rays and whatnot, I don't know why that last bit doesn't fade like this. The inside is cracked. Looks like somebody tightened that lower mount too tight. Cracked over there too. So I've seen these posts here crack and broken out of these things. So anyway, I'm going back in with the chipped up clear ones from the V70. Top of that is busted too. Well, heck, I didn't even notice this. This bottom one is busted too. I'm gonna go to Jack, see if they got that one. Somebody took the upper ones. I'm not sure if they took the lower ones too. But yes, sir, more work to do. Well, I didn't realize this, but it appears that the light bulb insert piece is a little different between the 850 and the S&V 70. I almost had to force it in up here, had a little struggle down here, and I'm not sure if that clip has clipped into that little hole. Besides that, it has these little prongs out here and here. I think this is for wiring up tow hitch wiring. Instead of splicing into your dang on wire harness like I've been doing, I think you can just tap into these things. So I'm gonna check that out next time. And the popo's leaving. Not sure what that was all about. He just sat in his vehicle there for a little while and just left. So the plug goes here, and there's a post there that it looks like you could probably hook up something for your tow hitch wiring or something. That's interesting. That top pin there. Well, yes, these are different. The one on the left is for a V70. The one on the right's for an 850. Of course, V70 is supposed to have a colored light to compensate for that white lens. Can't tell. The bottom looks the same. Not sure if these latches are the same, but they're pretty close. If it seats in there, it'll fit. Well, here I go. I borrowed a few parts from this car a time or two. This car was whole when I got it. but it hadn't been driven in several years. I didn't get to it right away. It sat here probably 3 years. Borrowed some parts off of it here and there, and here she lies. Doesn't have a fan. Well, it's got this pipe here on there. The idle air control valve was borrowed. I put another one there. A couple other things was borrowed. The battery's gone. Turbo tube, inlet tubes there. Looks like this. Doesn't have any coolant, and this reservoir is empty. The reservoir cracked. The reservoir cap is destroyed. So I'm gonna try to get this running today and test drive it. Rumor has it it's supposed to have a bad transmission, but I'm probably going to service the transmission and see if that cures its performance problems. I got somebody that needs this car. So let's get cracking. I'm going to roll this engine over, clean the dust out of here, pull this serpentine belt, and I think I rolled the engine over before, but I'm gonna roll it over again just to make sure it's still rolling over. Open the hood a little bit more, give me a little more light. A little more light on the subject. I took the hood off of it. I'm not sure where it went, but heck, this hood may be on the car I was driving the other day. I gotta clean some of the dust out of here too. Let's keep moving. Holy crap, I'm even missing the oil cap off of this thing. That thing looks dry as crap up there too. Let me vacuum that out and go find an oil cap for that. Jeez. Well, I don't see the top cover anywhere, but looking at these cams, they look like they're pretty much on time. That one's there, this one's here. It may be half a tooth off. See if I can see it down there, where it is on the crank. Yeah, it looks like I'm a half a tooth off down there. Yep, I'm a half a tooth off. I don't know if you can see it, but probably not. That sprocket down here is got the notches, and it's a half a tooth off. So I'm gonna bump that over a half a tooth and get this timing belt off. Yeah, I bumped it. If you look up there, you can see that piece right there that lines up with the notch. I'm gonna highlight that on the video, and I am almost perfect. I think if I tried to bump it again, I would be too far. So I'm gonna leave it there, take this belt off. Man, it is nasty down there. I just took the guard off the bottom of this timing belt area. I bet those oil cooler lines are leaking, so they're gonna get deleted here in a few minutes. And I got room to snap them and thread them out of here with this fan out. So after I do the timing belt water pump, tensioner rollers and stuff, that's next. I bet you this timing belt stuff, man, I doubt it's original, but somebody might have replaced this belt and didn't replace nothing else. The cracks in it don't look too bad, but it's at least 10 years old. Well, I pulled one of the bolts and some coolant's coming out of it, so I'm gonna drain the radiator. Maybe some coolant in there. And there's coolant in there. Looks like green stuff, but hey, that's better than it being water or nothing. Less chance of rust. It was going slow, so I pulled the plug. Looking in the plug, that looks clogged with something. That's a bad sign. Yeah, I got to try to clean that out. Well, good thing, it looked like some kind of dirt dauber and some kind of insect crawled up in there, which is good, other than something being in the radiator coming out of there. So I should be good to go. Brush that off, put it back in. Finally get all the screws out of it. Tapped on it, didn't seem to come off, so I'm gonna pry on it with this. You can pry on that screw head. That's about the only thing down there you can pry on. Man, it's not coming. Guess I could put the big pry bar on it. Bump it with that. It's in there. Dang. I normally tap it with a little sled. Doot, 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 doot. There it goes. Catching most of it down there. See how much gasket. Now this engine wasn't running. Oh, it's still tight in there. Let me try a little bit more. Man, holding pins are holding that good. There it goes. Cold, cold, super cold. Wow. About 90% of the gasket. Very little to clean. Thank you. Might have left a lot on it, even though most of it is stuck to here. There's some stuck to the engine as well. Well, let me get the cleaner. All right, I'm getting close on getting this cleaned up. I got a little bit of residue there, a little bit of gasket there. That's the residue. I'm gonna clean most of it up with a wire brush, but let me see if I can get that a little bit cleaner and start wire brushing this thing. I think you got it cleaned off. Let's check it out. Oh, got some crud there. A little bit of gasket and crud there. Everywhere else is pretty good. So, crud there, gasket and crud there. A little bit of crud up there. Let me see if I can get that gasket off of there. Alright, here we go. Now I'm convinced that that's stained. I got that gasket off and that's probably stained. And I was able to clean on top of that post. So I'm going to run my finger around there, make sure it feels like a baby bottom, and put the gasket in with it. But I got a distraction I got to go deal with, so I doubt this water pump's going on today. But let's see. Yep, as smooth as a baby's bottom. So I'm going to go here and clean up my tools and everything and deal with my distraction. This thing leaked a lot of oil. It is bad. Trash. Don't even try to use it. So I'm going to pull that pin, throw this in the trash. And here it is, folks. Distraction accomplished. We got an aerial trailer. This thing is going to need some cosmetics. I'm surprised the tires made it back. Dang thing is all rusted out. The tires are rotted out. Looks like it's got a place for a license plate, but I'm not sure if that's necessary here in Ohio. So, there we have it. We can start putting our stuff back here instead of carrying it in the car. Whoop, whoop. Kicking off the day, just got done with my walk. Got the bearings in for the quaif that's going in that yellow car. And time to get busy. In the great Commonwealth of Ohio, they feed every trailer. So I got to get my trailer weighed. They don't care nothing about a title for this little thing, but they do want it weighed so it can be registered. So I'm gonna drive it on the scale down here at the salvage yard. They said they'll do this paperwork for $10.50 for me. I got the brochure from it when it was brand new. I also have the title that was issued when it was new, but they said the title didn't have the weight on it, so that doesn't matter. The brochure does, 340 pounds. So let's see what it weighs now. It appears that most scrap places will do this for you, and there's other places that do it. The scrap places are like $10, $11. Other places are like $50. So you want to use a scrap place if you can. So here we go, pulling up on the scale. I'm gonna peep what my car weighs on this thing as we go across. 4,500 pounds. Let's see what this trailer weighs. If I'm peeping this right, it's 330 something pounds. They weighed it at 355 pounds. So that's where we're at. Real close to what it was when it was new. Probably had a couple extra coats of paint on it that added 10 pounds to it somewhere along the road. Here we go, folks. 2 stack jacks. I think they post this view on YouTube every day, every work day anyway, so you can see the cars they have out here, what they look like on a walk by or a drive by, and you can verify what cars are here if you can make out what they are as they drive by. But their website also has the cars listed, so you could check that as well. Man, there was a older BMW here. It looks like they've crushed that thing already, unless this is it. Somebody hit this. I should have got those grills. Man, I should have got those grills. Yep, that's it. Now, I wasn't sure if they would fit, and I forgot to double check quickly. You got to get that old BMW stuff quick. They got a lot of Mercedes stuff out here too. Let me focus on what I'm supposed to be focused on. The Volvo stuff. And they still got this Volvo on the ground. I just don't get it. Why is this Volvo on the ground? Man. On the ground, man. It's the only car. Oh, there's a BMW on the ground too, so I can't say the only. Let's get our wiring connections and get out of here. All right, it's time to get this trailer off of this car, secure it in the driveway so I can drive without it. So let me move that, go run an errand, and then get back to work on that one there. Coming right along. Time to get back at it. We got all the parts. About to get with it. Whoop, whoop. Well, I wasn't sold on it at first, but look at this mount. I think I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. Yesterday we left off with this being all cleaned up. Has some scaling on it, but it's very smooth. So we're gonna put the gasket on, water pump on, torque the bolts down. Man, get this cleaned out. I thought that was clean, but there's still a lot of dirt on there. Cool, with the water pump and the tensioner out of the way, you can see that mark in that crank pulley. Really good. And it's a half. Well, it's about a quarter of a tooth off from its mark. Because its mark is that. Heck, it looked like a half tooth off at that angle. Doot, 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 doot. Only Asian water pumps and green gaskets for me. Has a date stamp on it and Volvo ground off of it. That would be year 2021. So this thing's 4 years old already in the 8th month. So let me get this on there. Got new screws. We're gonna be torquing those down to 12 foot-pounds. 7 screws. Every one of these splines have a screw at the end of it. Torque them down. Now these water pump bolts have thread sealer on them. So when that thread sealer hits the threads, it gets a little tighter. I had a guy hire me to go from Albuquerque to Chicago because he thought he had stripped the bolts. As he was tightening them, they seemed to be kept spinning. Well, he didn't realize they weren't all the way in yet. He stopped, thought he stripped the bolts. Then put a torque wrench on them. Put a torque wrench on them. Torque this stuff, man, and you won't make mistakes like that. New Asian tensioner. I gotta find that rebounder. Hopefully it's in here. I'm gonna reuse this because it's in really good shape, and I'm putting a new idler on. These sometimes go 3 belt cycles. This one may have only gone 1 so far. Everything's torqued on. ready to slide that belt on. I don't think these cams move. This engine's been sitting so long. So let me put the belt on and pull that hand grenade pin. This is the part that gets most people because they won't put the belt against the bottom of that crank pulley. They get it stuck, hung up over this damper down there. They won't slide it under there and flip it on there. And then they say the belt's too short. It's not too short. This thing is disintegrated, so we're replacing that. Well, let's just say cracked. Got the belt on. We're going to get a timing belt cover for the top, set it on there, make sure the timing is good. I believe it is, but we're going to confirm it before we pull that hand grenade pin. Got the cover on, got the rebounder in, the slacks out. Time to roll the engine over. After I roll the engine over, I'm going to remove them oil cooler lines, block that off. Then I'm going to find that mount, replace that engine mount. So let's keep rolling. Man, that looks ugly. I might replace that. All this stuff looks just cruddy from sitting all these years. Well, I got the engine jacked up with the mount, so it could be easier for me to get the water pump stuff cleaned up. So can't roll the engine over because the crank bolt's behind there. So let me go ahead and remove these oil cooler lines, get this mount replaced, then lower the engine down and replace that thing. I probably need to replace this oil while I'm at it. Oil change time. Here we go, folks. Kicking off the Tinker Day. I don't know if you guys remember this car, but James had this car quite a while. I think he paid $1,500 for it. T5. He had an accident, or somebody had an accident that was driving it. Totaled it out, but put it back together with some C70 parts and some S70 parts, and now he went and got those parts painted. Looks good. It's a good 5-footer. Got a little bit of orange peel, but that's kind of expected. He was probably not trying to pay the highest price, but it looks pretty good. Got some gapping issues. But he also had somebody replace an alternator about a year ago. And man, they was climbing in his engine bay, and we think they damaged some kind of wiring in there. This car hadn't been right since. At the end of the day, I had to slave one fuel injector off of another because like one fuel injector was stuck open. And I think something happened to the wire harness and something got grounded out, and this car had a fuel injector stuck open. We swapped them around. That didn't help. The only thing that could help was to slave it off another one. I can't remember which ones. We'll probably see it when I go in the engine bay. But I have a full wiring harness out of one of these cars, and I'm going to rewire it from the ECU all the way back to the O2 sensors and see if that fixes it. So without any further ado, let's get started. 319,000 and purring like a kid. I'll read the codes first, see what the codes say. I brought the VST since it's most accurate. Air pump 448. Man, I thought this air pump situation was bypassed. Air pump. So those are the only two codes. Let's go ahead and swap out this ECU. Yep, 410. Permanent fault, flow too low. I might fix that while I'm here too, and see what we got going on. So I'm gonna talk to James about this air pump code and see if he wants to move forward with just fixing that, see if that cures it, or if he wants to go ahead with this wire harness again. So I guess James and I need to have a conversation. This needs to be redone here. Got mud flaps hanging loose. When I come under here, the transmission is resting on this bump stop. That's not good. It should be about a 1/2 inch clearance there. Looks like we have a rear main seal leak. Not bad, but it's leaking. That mount is old at best, But the fact that this transmission is resting on this bump stop, probably the indication that these two hydraulic mounts are bad. So I would probably recommend replacing those. Then you got a CV boot torn open here. And I think I mentioned these struts are probably due replacement. The firewall mount's busted, and you can see how far off this car is. This here is part of this. So you got an inch push to the driver's side on this front end. Now it's been fixed to where it runs and drives pretty straight, but it could use some love, but I don't know how far he wants to go with this thing. He said he didn't drive that much. Let's check the mileage on it from a year ago and see where it was. I went and checked that video from February 1st. This vehicle has driven 3,696 miles since then. So it's not seeing a lot of miles, but it did have a problem with throttle position sensor. So let's hook up the scan gauge, see what the throttle position sensor is, take this thing for a drive, see how it's running on the gauge and on the field, and make some decisions about what I recommend he do to keep this thing on the road. TPS is 12, not bad. Let's go, see what happens. Shifting feels fine to me. I think that throttle position sensor's off just a little bit. Yeah, shifting feels fine. Let me tell you if I feel anything unusual. Man, this car is moving. And to me, it feels like it's in sports mode, even though it's in economy. I don't even know what to say about that. This thing actually chirped tires when I went from second to third or first to third, one or the other. Let me pull this over and try to slow it down real quick and take back off real quick. Here we go. Damn. I think y'all heard that. To me, that wasn't that hard acceleration to do that. I don't even know what to say about that. Sound like I heard the SAS pump kick on, even though it had that code. I cleared the code. I hear the engine fan on now, cooling down the engine. And this car is running nice. There's something a little sensitive about the throttle position. Let me go plug into my car and see where my throttle position reads. Yeah, the coolant's come up to the max line. A little bit wet around the cap. Maybe a bad cap, I don't know. But, man, this car is running good. See where this thing is on my car. Do. Throttle position is at 10 instead of 11. Let me see if that thing's maybe a little too tight over there. Decided to check the transmission system with the VST, and I got a code there, which I think is basically your P&P switch. Something happened. Cord come loose or something. Let's see what's going on with this again. Do. P&P switch, possibly. Won't go down no further, but it says it has a down function. Guess I can't read more on that. It's giving me an error code. Let's just go through the codes before we try to read the P codes or more. throttle position sensor signal. Throttle position sensor signal. Alright. Permanent fault, signal too high, P120. Do. Wow, that's crazy how that's giving it to me. Let's go to C, see number 3, see if we can get more information. Well, let me go down again. It's gonna give me that communication fault again. Alright, that's okay. I'll clear those 2 codes. Take this thing for a drive. See if it shifts better, because it's revving right now. Alright. Let's go for a ride, see if this gets better. See if we get any codes come back. I'm all done at James' place. We are going to call it a moment here. I got this wood cut from my dresser. Whoop, whoop. Had a table saw out here. That thing was nice. Went all the way to the top. Let's get with it. Looks like our yard guy came by. He don't even try to blow these cars off. He just cuts his grass, slings all that grass up here and keeps moving. Well, yesterday, as you remember, I finished this timing belt job. I put that front engine mount in. I deleted the oil cooler lines. So today, I'm going to drop in the radiator. Actually, the radiator's there. I'm going to drop in the fan, hook up this turbo piping, try to clean all of this out. There's some serious infractions here. Like that turbo tube missing, the OTE pipe. I gotta put that stuff in and make sure this stuff is hooked up, sealed, clean, and then go get a battery, fire this thing up, and take it for a test drive, see if the transmission is actually messed up. So, after I take it for a test drive, I'll do the fluids. I'm getting ready to do that fluid now. But some of this other stuff I'll need to do. So let me run a vacuum cleaner down there, and start hooking this stuff up, seeing if I'm missing anything, and keep moving forward. I decided there's only one way to do this. It's the right way. Cleaning out all of these crevices and stuff like that. So I'm going deep. I gotta get all of this stuff out of here. Brush that off. Oh crap, I ain't even got a fuel pump relay in there. And I gotta clean all this out. This is causing stuff to get down inside the car. Water. Don't have a cabin air filter. Yeah, this is nasty, folks. Got this cleaned out, which is good enough, but I didn't realize it. This thing didn't even have a blower lid. Look at that, right inside the car. So I need to get one of those. I know I got a couple. Got the timing belt area covered. I got the reservoir covered. I got a cap on here. This is not the one that goes on here. This one goes on Lucille. I was gonna put a piece of napkin in there. Got some of this other stuff covered up by napkins. I'm about to blow this out with my Milwaukee vacuum. It has a blow feature. So yes, protecting my eyes and my respiratory system a little bit. So let's see how much of this stuff blows out of here with this blowing feature of this Milwaukee. I tried to brush everywhere I could with my little scrub brush right there, and a little bit with this. So let's get with it. Well, I must say, I am impressed. I didn't even put the skinny nozzle on it, and the battery was 2 lights, and it went all the way down to a flashing, basically dead battery warning. And man, this thing is pretty clean. I didn't expect it to be this good looking. I didn't reach all the way down there, so I'm gonna put another battery in there and blow it out one more time. But Man, this got a lot out of here. There was a lot down here on top of this transmission. I mean, a lot. So, I think I'm gonna be satisfied with the blowing process. And then I'm gonna vacuum out my tubes, vacuum out my turbo, vacuum out my intake stuff, and put this stuff together. But I think I'm gonna take a dinner break first. So let me blow this stuff out a little bit, and then vacuum a little bit, then have dinner, then start putting it back together. But yeah, I'm impressed. Well, I'm pretty impressed. I put these here that I pulled out of these two holes, and that disappeared. And it fell down there, I sucked it back up. But I don't see the one I had here. So I either need to get my camera, or I need to take this loose and pull it away from the turbo. Now, when I had the vacuum down there, I felt a good vacuum here. So it may have sucked that napkin down there in the turbo. So I need to pull that, make sure I got that. But other than that, I think I'm ready to start putting this car back together. So let me go ahead and pull that clamp, make sure that's clear, and get to work putting this thing back together. I need to find the ECU top. I'm going to replace that with a brand new one I got, and put the OTE pipe on, put the vacuum tree back on, put the idle air control valve back on, put the air box back in. I gotta shake and clean that out, put the wipers back on, and the cruise, the fuel pump relay's missing, so I gotta go get one of those, put that in there. And I imagine I'm gonna be replacing this fuel pump too, because I don't even know if it has gas in here. If it does, I'm just gonna pump all the gas out, go get some fresh gas, or pump some out of my car, put a gallon or two in here, and fire this thing up. But I can't imagine the fuel pump being any good. And I got a couple of pieces of nuggets here I need to clean out. So let me clean just a little bit more and start putting this thing back together. Whoop, whoop. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.